welcome back to Out of Body's 31 Days of Halloween. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Whispering Woman and other paranormal dreams that I've had. The Whispering Woman is actually a common dream that many people have claimed to have. In fact, Hailey Reese, a very popular paranormal YouTuber, also did a video on this Whispering Woman, and that's actually how I figured out that other people had had this experience other than me. It was really weird because I had the dream about this woman, and I think within a couple of days, Hailey uploaded the video, and I watched it, and I was like, that's me. So anyway, I wanted to talk about that in this video because I thought it was interesting since I've had an experience with it. I will link her video down below as well if you want to know more details about other people's experiences. I'm just going to kind of gloss over that and just go into what I experienced. So just to go over what other people have experienced, basically how it starts out with this Whispering Woman is that people will have just a regular dream like normal, and all of a sudden this woman will just appear in the dream. So nothing creepy or scary at first, just she appears. She's somewhere in the dream. Like if there's a crowd, she's somewhere in the crowd, or she's somewhere in the room, you know, if there's just a group of people in a room. Then is when it gets a little bit scary. Not necessarily in the same dream, usually in another dream, like it's over a series of dreams. So in one of the future dreams of this woman, they may or may not see her, but they'll hear her whispering. And then as things progress, they'll actually start to hear the whispers in real life. So no longer just in dreams, but they'll start hearing it in their day-to-day life. And yet again, as things progress, they'll start seeing her in real life. So they'll start seeing her when they're out and there's crowds of people and they'll spot her somewhere. And then as things keep going, eventually people will not just hear her whispering, they will hear her saying things. Like she'll still be whispering, but they'll be able to tell what she's saying, whereas before it was just kind of like, you know, like they couldn't tell what she was saying. And unfortunately, what they start hearing is predictions, not good predictions of their future. Typically, as they say, she will predict 3 possible bad futures. And as they say, they do all come true. So say like one of them is like, you will get in a car wreck, or the other one is like, you know, you will lose a loved one or something. Like 3 different things, bad things will happen according to what she tells them. But if they want it to stay at only 3, they have to keep all of this to themselves. If they share any of these specific events with anyone, like if they, from what I gather, they can share their experiences with the Whispering Woman, but if they specifically share like what she predicted with anyone, then they will experience more bad things. So if they follow the rules, after the 3rd negative event, nothing else will happen. They'll never see her again. That will be it. Now, what's interesting is that according to many people who have said they've experienced this particular woman, they describe her differently. So in other words, it's not like the same woman, like pale skin, black hair, anything like that. Like each person sees somebody slightly different looking. So I thought that was interesting. And each person agrees that they cannot tell what specific events she predicted. Otherwise, she'll come back. So now that I've kind of covered what other people have experienced, I'm going to tell you guys what I experienced. So I actually just had one specific dream, and I didn't have any after that. And I think I know why, possibly, given after listening to what other people experienced, something I did different than they did. So I'm just going to kind of read, because I took notes like specifically what happened in my dream, so I don't miss anything. I'm just going to read verbatim. So in my dream, I was in my old childhood home in my mom's bedroom. In the dream, I believed it to be my bedroom though. I remember getting out of bed and walking towards my doorway, then turning around and looking at the room and looking at the bed and all of that. The room was dark. All I could see was the bed and the carpet. I saw a young girl standing at the side of the bed with her back turned to me. Maybe my body was in bed and my soul was across the room. That's kind of how it felt, like I was across the room looking towards the bed. This girl was standing by the bed. She was facing my body in the bed, but her back was to me, like my view from the dream, if that makes sense. So the girl that I saw, and she was a girl, not a woman. So I don't know if anybody else had that sort of experience or if it's always a woman, but she had on a white dress and she had long black hair. And after a couple of seconds of me just staring at her back, I start hearing these whispers. And I've never had a dream like this in my life ever before. So it really kind of spooked me. After I woke up, I was like, well, what the hell was that? And then a couple days later, Hailey uploaded her video and I was like, what? So anyway, after a couple of seconds, I'm in the room, I'm staring at her. She's not facing me, she's whispering. So I start to get scared and I run out of the room. Later on in the dream, she shows up again, this time in front of me, and I put in front of one of my friends. So I guess I had some friends in the room and she like came forward in front of them. This time she looked more like a doll, which was kind of weird. Like she was alive, but she was kind of more doll-like because I saw the front of her. She may have looked like that before because I just only saw the back, but when I saw the front of her, she almost looked kind of like a doll. And so then I proceeded to tell her, you are not welcome here. You need to leave this space now. And I said it really loud. I'm not going to do it that loud now, but I like yelled it at her with all my might. And then I touched her head and I pushed her back. And then after that, I woke up and I didn't have any other experiences. So that's like the difference in my dream. I don't know what other people did in their dreams when they experienced her, if they just ran away or woke up or what. But I'm wondering if that could be possibly why I didn't have any other experiences, is because I actually like told her like, go away, like you're not welcome here. Like I used, in a sense, it felt like I used like my light and my power to like push her away from me. And in the dream she was shoved, you know, she was like shoved back, and then I woke up and that was it. So I don't know. So I have had some other paranormal dreams. That particular one, I think I may have had it before I moved into this apartment. After I moved into this apartment, I had a couple of other dreams. So I'm gonna tell you guys about those. It's not to do with the whispering woman. It's a different one. And kind of makes me think it could be linked to some of the experiences I've been having since I've been here. So one of the dreams was I just walked into my living room and I looked into the back corner of the room, and it seemed like the whole room was like lit up really bright, but this one corner of the room was kind of darker. And when I got closer, I looked over and I realized it was darker because there was this little boy standing there, and he was all kind of like, not like a shadow person. I could make out a figure, but he was like kind of grayscale, if that makes sense. Like the whole room was like in color and he was like grayscale, kind of like how you typically see like manufactured pictures of ghosts, you know, like they're all grayscale looking. Again, in this dream, I was actually looking at the back side of him. So he was like crouched in the corner. He was standing and he was like crouched in the corner like this, facing the corner. And I was behind him, and it was almost like he was playing hide and seek or something, which I thought was interesting. Because he was like covering his eyes, and in the dream he actually does turn around, and when he turns around, I'll admit it did scare me in the moment. Now I'm not so sure if it was supposed to be scary or if I just took it that way, but he turns around and he just has this grin on his face, and it's a little boy. He looks to be, I had to pick an age, maybe around like 9 or 10. Not that young, really. And he just turns around and has this grin on his face. The grin is almost like as if he wanted me to play with him, like he wanted me to play the game. And then after that, I woke up. Like, I don't even know what I did in the dream. I just woke up. So after that, needless to say, that particular corner of the room made me a little bit uneasy. So I actually, not immediately after that, but like a couple months after that, I decided to finally just rearrange the room because I didn't like the way it was arranged anyway. So I rearranged it and everything, and I like it better, so I don't know. Now I had a second dream about what I think was the same boy, and it was a better dream, so that's what makes me think that maybe he wasn't trying to scare me, he was just wanting me to play with him. And this one was pretty recent. This was just a few weeks ago, and I'm filming in September, so this was like late August that I had this dream. So I dreamed of a lady who was trying to sell me a haunted object, and I was in like this store. It was actually pretty cool. I was in like this like metaphysical, mystical kind of spiritual shop. We have a couple of those here in town. I like going to those. But anyway, in this particular shop, it was one I hadn't been to before. I think I was traveling or something, and she showed me this, I think it was a box. It was like this really little box, and inside the box, from what I remember, was some sort of crystal. And she said that this crystal is associated with a little boy ghost, and that she wanted to give him to me, that she'd been taking care of him for a long time and looking after him, and that she wanted to pass him along to me. So that's very interesting. And I had this dream after the first one. And as she was kind of telling me the story of him or about him, I kind of had a vision of him. You know, she was like, as she was telling me, it's like in a movie, you know, when somebody's telling a story and then it like pans off to this like other land and this, you know, you see the story in action. That was the kind of thing. So I ended up seeing the little boy. I had a vision of him like walking into his bedroom or something, and he was a little younger than the boy I dreamed about before. He was like maybe 4 or 5 in the vision that she gave me anyway. And it didn't feel negative. It didn't feel bad at all. I actually felt like, you know, a tug on my heartstrings, I guess, because I have a little boy. So I was just like, oh, I don't think I accepted it in the dream. I was thinking about it and I was considering it. I was like, oh, you know, I feel bad for him, you know. And maybe I should look after him. It's like, I've already got a little boy, but maybe I could look after him too. I don't really remember much after that. After that, I woke up. So as far as I know, I never did accept it, which is probably a good thing, but I thought that was interesting. And in my previous video, if you guys have seen during this month, where I talked about my paranormal experiences I've had in this apartment lately, some of the experiences have been like associated with my son and him like looking at someone and laughing, or looking at someone and staring, like toys going off by themselves and stuff, like when neither one of us is around it. Could explain that. There could be possibly a little boy presence that's surrounding me. I don't know, but I'll keep you guys updated. I just thought that was really interesting and I wanted to share it with you guys. So that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Bye.